Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the conference. It's good to be here to talk about Platina, which is nearly completed on a plan to get drilling soon. So the next 6 months is going to be a very exciting period for Platina. So Platina is a 23 million market cap company. We've got 3 projects in Western Australia, all 100% owned. 2 are granted. And we're just waiting for our Mount Nara project to be granted. And we also own a very high-grade resource or reserve of scandium in New South Wales. Platina has historically invested over $16 million in that project, and we're working on a strategy to unlock that value of that project for our shareholders. Platina, I guess this makes us a little unique compared to most exploration companies. We've been through an active process of divesting some of our non-core assets in the last few years, and as such we've got a portfolio of investments valued at about $7.5 million in listed entities. They're all in companies with projects that we believe have significant upside. And in particular, our biggest investment, which is in major precious metals, we've got 49 million shares in that company. They've just recently completed an 8,500 metre drilling program. They've got one of the world's, certainly one of the world's largest palladium deposits outside of Russia and South Africa in Greenland. And they're just in the process of starting to release some of those results to the market, and they'll be looking to do a big upgrade of that resource once all those results have been announced to the market. So we'll be looking for some upside out of that investment that we have. So our key share price drivers is pretty simple. We're going to start drilling 2 of our projects fairly soon. We expect a lot of upside in our stock price if we have success from those programs. We'll be selling our investments and realising the cash and putting that back into our West Australian gold exploration, and that'll give us the ability of keeping our share capital structure very tight and also unlocking the value of our scandium project. So our focus is on Western Australia. We have 3 projects, 2 granted, and we're looking to drill both of those projects fairly shortly. The Challa project is in the Yilgarn. I think everybody's pretty aware that that's a world-class province, excellent infrastructure, very sophisticated drilling capabilities, great place to do exploration. And we also have the Xanadu project, which is in the Ashburton Basin, probably a little less known to people. There are a number of multi-million ounce deposits in the Ashburton. It flanks the Pilbara Craton, which is obviously a hotspot destination, given the success that we've seen with Hemi and De Grey. And we really believe that the Ashburton is pretty underexplored, and we have a very large tenement package there that we're looking to take on. We've just appointed Rowan Deshpande as our exploration manager. Rowan's got over 15 years experience in the industry. In fact, he just spent the last 4 years working for De Grey. He was part of the discovery team on Hemi and has a huge amount of experience drilling out projects. I think at one point in time, I think he said he had 14 drill rigs going that he was responsible for, so he should be able to cover our projects pretty well. And Rowan will also take a really active role in helping us identify new opportunities to grow our portfolio. Rowan's actually here, and you can come and meet him at our booth. So our 2 projects in WA, Xanadu Gold Project. It's located 38 kilometres from Paraburdoo, so we can easily drive in and out of Paraburdoo each day. There's a regular number of flights from Perth to Paraburdoo each day, so that just helps keep our cost structures down. We've got a very large tenement package. It's 560 kilometres squared. We've got about 60 kilometres of a major fault zone and its splays. and we're only 7 kilometres away from the Kalamazoo's Mount Olympus deposit. It's a 2 million ounce endowment. They've mined about 350,000 ounces there, and they have a current refractory resource of about 1.65 million ounces. So it's always good to explore where there's other major deposits. So the Xanadu project's had quite a lot of historical exploration. There's been quite a lot of surface sampling work done. There's been some geophysics, and there's been quite a lot of drilling. So we've inherited all of this information. But we believe that the project hasn't been very systematically explored. A lot of the work was focused on identifying very shallow oxide resources near surface for a heap leach operation that was developed there. You can see that there's two stockpiles there. One was about 200,000 tonnes at 1.8 grams, and then there was another major stockpile there as well. And you can see a small photo of the open cut that they developed. So during that drilling, there was some very good large width and economic grade intercepts in gold. And there was a couple of deeper holes that have been drilled here, but a lot more deeper work needs to be done. So we really like the Xanadu project. It's on a major fault zone. It's got the neurology with the nearby Mount Olympus deposit. There's widespread gold mineralisation through a very large 10-kilometre long hydrothermal alteration zone, and we've got the real favourable rocks here for the discovery of a major ore body. So this diagram on the right, it's a little busy, but it just shows you some of the historical drilling intersections in there. Some really good stuff in there that we can work with. This is the 10-kilometre strike extent. It's up in the northwestern zone, so we're really only touching a very small part of this tenement package that we have. We recently completed a very systematic geophysics program, and have got what we believe is a better understanding of the deeper potential in this project. So we've got two targets here. We're targeting the oxide mineralisation that's been mined before, and then we're really looking to try and identify the source of that oxide mineralisation. It's very deeply weathered here. It goes down to about 80 metres, so that's why we had to sort of rely on the geophysics to get a better understanding of those basement rock structures. But we're going to come back through there. We've got some initial planned drill holes there. We're going to look to do about 4,000 metres of RC drilling there as soon as we can get a cultural heritage signed off. So hopefully in the next couple of months we'll be on the ground here drilling. We also have the Chala project. It's in the Yilgarn Craton. It's nestled between Mount Magnet, UME and Sandstone. It's a prolific gold producing region. We're sort of centred in the middle of that. A large part of our tenements are undercover here, so we've had to really rely on some different techniques for trying to look under the cover and identify some targets here. The other interesting thing about this area, given that the amount of gold produced in this area, is that there's not a single drill hole on our tenement package. We've got nearly 300 square kilometres of ground here, so it's very attractive. We've got two primary targets here. We've got our Chala West tenement. It runs along the Chala fault zone. We believe that we've got some greenstone rocks undercover here. Some large zones of hydrothermal alteration come up through the geophysics, and as I mentioned before, we've been relying on using soil sampling. So we've done over nearly 4,000 soil samples across this package, and our plan is to come back and use some air core drilling to drill through to the basement rocks so that we can try and identify follow-up anomalies for deeper drilling in the future. And we've also got our Chala East tenement. There are some outcropping rocks up in the northeast of this package. We know that the prospectors have found a lot of gold nuggets just off the edges of our tenements here. This is also a quartz and gold sample from near our area as well. We have done some rock chip sampling on our own tenements. We've had up to 6 grams per tonne gold in some of our rock chips. So we think this is another really exciting area that definitely warrants drilling. This is our Mount Naira project. It's in the western Yilgarn Craton. We're about 300 kilometres north of the Chalice's Julmar deposit. We believe that we have a very similar structure and rock type that's analogous to that Julmar nickel PGE discovery. Once that tenement is granted, we'll be looking forward to sort of getting on the ground there and taking a very similar approach to what others are taking in that basin and doing geophysics and soil sampling to identify targets. Hopefully we get this tenement granted fairly soon. So our scandium project, we've invested $16 million in this project. It's got 48,000 metres of drilling. We completed a DFS here in 2018. For a fairly low capital, it generates a very high internal rate of return. One of the challenges with the scandium industry is that the market's quite small. So we've been working on a number of strategies on how we can diversify our revenue and by going downstream further and capturing more of the value chain through our master alloy test work, which is proving to be very successful. In parallel with that, we've been working on completing our permitting for the project and talking to a number of interested parties on how we can unlock the value of this project and generate a return for our shareholders. Just in terms of how that scandium project fits with Platina, at a 23 million market cap, we have our near $10 million portfolio of cash and investments. Plus we've got our gold portfolio in Western Australia. But you could compare that to, say, an Imperial Mining or a Scandium International. They're pure play scandium companies. They have either equal or higher market capitalisations to Platina. And if you were to then compare it to, say, nickel cobalt scandium plays, which have significantly higher market caps, you can see that Platina looks like it's a very undervalued company. So just to wrap up, our share price catalysts in the near term, drilling our Xanadu and Chala projects and the news flow that comes from that. Hopefully we'll get our Mount Naira prospect granted and we can get on the ground and start producing some results there. We're actively looking to build our portfolio in WA, so we're looking at new opportunities and how we can add value to the company. Hopefully we'll have a path forward to unlock the value of our scandium project and then using our investments, selling them, using the cash proceeds to fund our exploration in Western Australia without diluting our already tight share capital. Thank you very much.